You can hear the monastery in the background with the bells, I guess calling for Sunday service. It's the week before the North Downs 100. This time next week, I hope I finished it. If you are interested in listening to the ramblings of a runner prior to a 100 miler, some of the stuff I'm going to go through is just my thoughts really. So if you're interested in that, carry on listening. And if not, probably not the video for you. Let's get to it. Obviously you're starting to get nervous. You start thinking about it a lot now, pretty much all day, every day. Starting to think about what you're going to wear. Starting to think about logistics of it, because it is a logistics, because it's a point to point. Obviously you start in Farnham, then you end up in Ashford, Kent. So it's getting to Farnham and then do the race and then getting home. And getting home is a bit of a trick because you've just run 100 miles. So this year, well, let's think about it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but I think probably the best thing is to get my car dropped off either at Ashford, Kent on Friday, and then get the train home. And then on Sunday, I've got to get to Farnham. But Farnham it's about 25 minutes from my house, so it's not too bad. So I could get an Uber, or I don't know, get the train, but we've got to be there at 6 and I haven't looked at the train, so that's got to be checked out. So I haven't sorted my logistics out. One of my friends is running and he's got a pacer and a car. Haven't asked him yet. Might be able to give me a lift back. He lives in London, so he might be able to drive me back into London. I'll just get the train home after the race. Generally after the races you feel pretty wrecked. Obviously after 100 miler, I'd done this last year, the same race, and I finished in 24 hours, just sub 24 hours, which is my goal, which is brilliant. I managed to relax afterwards for quite a few hours. So I think I finished about 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, it'd be 6 in the morning, wouldn't it? And I chilled out, and then my lovely wife came and picked me up at about 11 o'clock. So it can be done, but this year I've got no pickup because of the kids and everything like that. So I'm going to work that out. Need to get that done. Then basically what you get with these races are drop bags. So a drop bag is a bag just full of your kit, and you can leave it at certain points, designated points. Basically, like it's Friday night or very early Saturday morning, you obviously go and register, collect your big number, get a kit check. So you've got to take your kit, they check it, there's a compulsory kit you need. Nothing too spectacular though. And they check that, and then they give you a bib number, and then you have your 2 drop bags. There's one at Knockholt, which is 50 miles in, and then there's one at Delting. I think that's how Detling, I'm not sure how you say it. And that's about 80 miles in. Last year, the drop bag at Knockholt was essential. The drop bag at Delting wasn't. By the time I got there, I was too wrecked and just wanted to, well, I felt really sick and just really wanted to crack on. Couldn't even bother to take my shoes off, so just want to get it done by then, and wasting time because I had a bit of a mission. So got to get your drop bag sorted out. So drop bag 1, I will put another pair of trainers in, but I'm not going to switch my trainers. I've just bought these new Mafates Evos. They're the last year's model, because Hock have just bought a new number 2 out. They're fantastic though, loving these shoes. So I'm probably going to run with them throughout. I'll take a pair of shoes anyway just in case, but I don't think I'm going to change those. Take a pair of socks, spare pair of socks, top, and probably a fresh pair of pants, but probably won't bother about that. So you can have a quick change, take some wet wipes, so you can have a quick sort of mini shower as such, and some food, and obviously your nutrition for the next 50 miles. I think the key to that 50 mile point is not to stop in there for too long. I think I was there for about 20 minutes last year, and looking at all my times, I could have shaved probably half an hour off if I'd just been a bit more efficient in the aid stations. So throughout the course you get aid stations at different points. Not sure how many there are, quite a few. They're nicely spread out, 6 miles, 10 miles, I think the longest one's 12 or 13 miles, I'm not sure. You always fill up with water at each point. They have really good food. It's a Centurion event. Centurion put on amazing events. So the aid station's all part of fun of it, because the people helping, the volunteers, it's epic. It's all fun. You've got to enjoy that moment as well. This year, I'm going to make sure I get a photo at each aid station with everyone, because last year, towards the end of the race, one of the aid stations just can't remember going to, which just shows how out of sync your brain is. Let's go down this way. That's one thing I'm going to do differently, is get photos, but not stop at aid stations. I mean, get a bit of food and just get on with it. The drop bags are really important. Delting one, I'll probably just have something nice to eat. I don't know what, probably some salty snacks, and just see if I can force something down when I'm there. But I don't think it's going to be very hot this year. Last year was a scorcher, it was about 85 degrees, 85 degrees this year. Looking at weather forecasts, the weather's changed, as you can see. So, I don't think it's going to be too hot, but you never know. We just had a 38 degree day here, so we'll have to have a look at that. So I don't think it's going to be too hot, which will help me massively. Let's see. What happens when you do these 100 milers is your body basically is trying to cool yourself down when it's very, very hot, and the blood goes to the extremities of your body, your capillaries, and it's trying to force out the heat. And what it does is it takes away the blood from the stomach, and it's also saying to the stomach, look, I don't want to digest any food, it's a waste of time, I've got to cool this body down. That's the most important thing. So it makes you puke, makes you feel sick, makes you puke, so that you can get rid of the food inside your stomach, so it's less to digest. So that is really key to know, the reason why you feel sick. One of the reasons, there's plenty others, and so you need to manage that as you run. So nutrition wise, which is key, I'm going to take Tailwind, which is a soluble electrolyte and calorie drink. They come in little sticks and you pull them in your water. So I'm going to have 2 bottles, 2 half-litre bottles. One will be full of Tailwind, it's totally strong, and obviously mixed with water, and the other one will just be clean water, so that I get the full taste and also get a clean taste as well. So I'm going to be running with Tailwind throughout the whole thing. All right. So I'm going to be running with Tailwind throughout the whole thing, but you need to mix that up. I'm going to be taking some little chews from I can't remember who now. They're little chews, and they keep you going. They're quite sweet. And then, but the key thing I'm going to do this year differently is I'm going to take salted potatoes with me. So I'm going to boil up some potatoes, chop them up a little bit, put lots of salt with them, and I'm going to eat them in the first sort of 20-25 miles to get some calories going before you start losing your appetite. And I'm also going to have some in my drop bag at 50 to see if I can eat those, because that's nice, easy on the stomach. It's got the salt. I'm also going to take salt sticks, and I've got some left over from Marathon des Sables, little salt tablets, so I'll be taking those prior the day before and taking them during the race. The salt basically allows keeps you hydrated, because it allows the water to stick in your body. Without salt, it just comes through and you don't get hydrated enough. So they're an essential thing to take. Then just graze on the aid stations carefully, really. Don't go overboard, but I'm pretty good when I run with my eating, so hopefully we don't get any GI issues. But the thing is, generally with these 100 milers, because it's so long, you're going to feel sick at some point. You know, things do go wrong, but you can just manage that, recover, slow down, do some walking, get your body temp down, and then just reboot and off you go again. So it's kind of managing things as they come and making sure they're not too bad. We'll see how my nutrition works out. So you've got to think about your nutrition, Then what am I going to wear? Said about my shoes, going to wear my Hockers. I've got my stance socks. No, I'm not going to wear stance socks, sorry. I'm going to wear Ingenuity socks. Never say it, not when I'm running anyway. The little toe socks, they're brilliant. So I've got a couple of pairs of those. Thanks to Trekking Outdoors and Sheer, I did quite well in a race recently and they gave me some freebies, so I'm going to be wearing those, so thanks very much. I'm also then not going to wear my calf sleeves anymore. I don't wear them anymore, I just wear them for recovery. They go over your calves, compression sleeves. I've got some anti-chafe pants. Then I've got these Ron Hills I love. They're nice and lightweight, not too short, not too long. Not sure what I'm going to wear on my top. It will just be a tech vest. I've got a few, and I have one at, as I said, at Knockholt to change into. I've got some Centurion ones, so I might wear one of those on my MDS one. It's good luck. I've got my heart rate there. That one there. My Sunto one's just broken, so I switched it to my Beacle. So I'm going to take my heart rate monitor. I've got my Sunto Spartan Ultra watch, which I'm going to load up the GPX file to. It's really well signposted, Centurion 100, awesome out at night. So don't worry if you're feeling like you're going to get lost. There's a few little points which are a bit tricky, but I did it last year. A very little problem even then, and I ran without a pacer, ran on my own, so that's really good. One thing not to worry about if you're watching this before the race. Yeah, so I've got my Sunto watch, so that will give me my time. I'm going to set that up properly, and I'll put it on an ultra setting so it doesn't run out of battery. It should last throughout the whole trip, but do I take a power pack or not? Probably not. I'm just going to put it on ultra low, it'll be okay. Just less weight. I am going to I've got this flip belt, which I bought, which I've been running with quite a bit. It's quite useful. I've got my phone in there. Some people don't bother about a big phone. They just take a really small handheld, because you've got to have the medical number and the course director number on there in case of emergency. So they want you to take a fully charged mobile phone. But I also want to take some photos, even though I'm going to be using my GoPro. Right, so hat, yeah, very important. We'll be wearing a cap, probably it will be my destination unknown cap. That's my lucky cap. I might wear a bandana. I'm going to take some buffs with me, so I have a buff around my wrist. But I've seen people wearing them underneath their caps, and that stops the sweat from dripping in your eyes, I guess. I've also got some sunglasses, Jolbo sunglasses, so they're really good, and they've got that chromatic lens on them. They change when it's dark and when it's sunny, so that's really good, so I can wear them pretty much all the time. I've worn them at a mountain race throughout the whole thing during the night as well. My vest, I've got a UD vest, and in that you've got to have your, I don't know what, I probably won't get all the compulsory items. Got to have a jacket, waterproof jacket, got to have a whistle. They recommend a compass, but you don't really need one, it's a North Downs Way. You've got to have your 2 bottles, minimum carrying of a litre, so I'll have 2 half-litre bottles here. And what else? There's some other stuff, survival blanket you need. Just that wraps up quite small. Take some loo roll, because you never know what's going to happen. And there's probably some, oh yeah, obviously head torch. So a bit of a choice at the moment on head torches. I've got a silver one which is battery operated, which is okay. I did a night race just to check that out, that was quite good. But I've also got a Petzl Neo, which is really powerful, so I may take that. So again, big decisions to make, but ultimately once you're on your way, there's no going back, so just make a decision and get on with it. That's the head torches. You've got to take another one as well. I've got a small little Petzl one, safety one, so that's just in case your main head torch runs out. You've got to take a charged mobile phone. So yeah, I think those are the main things I need to worry about to take. So I've got my vest, and I'm running that a load, so that should be okay. So that's about that regards to what kit I'm taking. That's the logistics of it. And then I guess the next big thing is what sort of race I want to run. I think you need a plan A and a plan B and a plan C always with these races. When I did MDS, you know, plan A wasn't just to finish it, because that should be a plan C or D. So the North Downs 100, I said last year I did it in under 24 hours. I've done pretty good training, a really good block of 2 months of training. So I'm feeling pretty fit. I've had a coach, my coach Davide Grazielli in Italy. A bit of a shout out, he's just done Lakeland 100 and only come 5th. I mean, what the fuck? It's amazing. So, wow, what a runner, eh? So he's been coaching me, so he knows his stuff, doesn't he? So I've only done sort of up to 50-mile weeks, but a lot of speed work. Yeah, I'm feeling really good for it. I've got no sort of niggles at the moment, slight ones still, but that's all good. So my race plan, I type it out on a spreadsheet and work out my times. So my A plan is to run the first 50. I'm going to put it out here on this, and then we'll see what happens at the end of it, of my race. Oh dear, out of breath. Talking and running is quite hard. Right, so I've got a spreadsheet and I put each mile in, so not each mile, each aid station, and then the splits between each one and the time. So I laminate that and take that with me, and hopefully it doesn't go out the window like last year where you just get on with it, because really after sort of 60-70 miles I don't really remember 70 to 80. I managed to pick myself up towards the end. This time I'd like to do it in 22 hours. That would be amazing. Right, loads of sting nettles down here. That would be amazing if I could do that. So 22 hours. So I'm going to split that between 2 halves. I want to do the first half, the first 15, 9.5 hours. I spoke to Davide about that. He reckons that's doable, and I then reckon that gives me a bit of time, 12.5 hours, to finish the last 50. The last 20-30 miles is really hard, really difficult, loads of steps. Everyone bangs on about Box Hill. I don't remember that being hard, because you're fresh, you've run 25 miles already. If you're knackered by then, good luck in this race. So you get more Box Hills further on, Holly Hill, Bluebell Hill, I think they're called. Yeah, and then I'm going to give that a go, and that will basically be, so obviously a slower last 50. That's on a laminate, and I think that's definitely doable. That's my A. My B, it's got to be 24 hours, isn't it? Under 24 hours. And my C, oh dear, I haven't really got one. So it really depends, because the 100 mile, you just don't know what happens, because it's such a long time to be running and walking and running. You get all sorts of problems with your gut, all sorts of problems with your feet. You shouldn't get any blisters, but you may do. I use some anti-chafing, which I'll put on before I run, and then that Delta Cat on as well, so that could be a problem. But I know my feet, I'll probably tape a couple of my toes up like I did in MDS. It's actually quite good. Yeah, I think I've covered everything I think I need to know about the 100. But as I said, yeah, it's a long old way, so things can change very quickly. Last year, 33 miles in, my legs were totally and utterly trashed, and I had another 70 odd miles to go. This race isn't 100 miles, it's about 104 miles. Yeah, those 4 miles are still a long way. Anyway, if you're still watching this, geez, well done. But that's my ramblings about the North Downs 100, coming up on Saturday morning, 6 AM, August the 3rd or the 4th? The 3rd and the 4th perhaps, that weekend. So we'll see how I can do. Anyway, I'm going to finish my run now. It's a 2 hour, I've done 35 minutes now, 3-4 miles, and it's a 2 hour 10-minute run, nice and easy, just to get legs going. A couple more runs next week. I'd still run next week. People sometimes don't run at all, but need to keep the legs going, turning over. Certainly won't affect the endurance, just keep the muscles from feeling going soft and feeling a bit weak. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If that's a help for anyone, give you an idea of what I'm sort of thinking about And I will be, and everyone will be, extremely nervous night before and on the day. So that is pretty, absolutely, totally normal, whether pro or amateur. Cheers for watching. Love some subscribers. I've got a whole 30 something now. Like it, subscribe to it. Please comment as well, because I love my running, very passionate about it. So leave me some messages, any questions, I will try and help. Cheers. Come on, mate. Come on. Go on, Brewster, keep going, mate. I think the heat's getting to him. It's not that warm, but it must be for him. Isn't that right, Bruce? Hey?